one of the things that was an absolute game changer for me, you wrote one of your books that um, thought, speech cancels thought, and action cancels speech. So that was one of the things that I was very focused on. How, just by taking, who cares how you feel like, just take some kind of action. And I think, by doing that, it allowed you to change your identity. Talk about how that process of thought, speech, and action, how the higher level and where's that source? Because I think that's just such a transformative. Because 90% of our decisions are based on our mood, and we end up going into the opposite, not action, but we end up going into inaction because we don't feel like it.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit. Where's the source of that?
So for the stages. So the first thing is that words are more powerful than our thoughts, which means, first of all, the words that we speak concretize our thoughts. They make it real. And the way we language things will affect our thoughts. So let's say a person, this is brought down in the Reishis Chachma, which is a classic work on Musar, written in the 1500s by a student of the Ramak, Moshe Cordovero.
Mm.
Elio de Vidas wrote this book. And one of the most classic works of Musar. He gives a counter, I would say, contrarian idea, which most people don't think about, is he says that when you're angry, don't speak about it.
Hmm. Yes.
Right. Most people think that when you're angry,
Don't-
vent, say it.
You're going to lose customers tonight,
I
Rabbi.
know. But he says that actually makes it worse.
Wow.
He says because now in a different context, of course, we're not going to get into detail, but the idea of that is that when a person is angry, maybe you're a little bit angry, and then you start speaking about it, and you know what this person did to me, and you can believe what happened, and all of a sudden the next thing you're like flaming up in anger.
Wow.
The words actually created your reality, and the reverse is also, of course, for the positive as well. You're feeling a certain emotion. Speak about it in a different way. Language it in a different way. Words cancel thoughts.
Wow.
So the power of speech, the power of creation is really through speech. The entire Sefer Yetzirah talks about this idea of like the power of creating, that the world was created through speech. Dar Hashem Hashemayim Nasa Hashem creates through speech. We contextualize or really create through speech. So that's the idea of speech, and the same thing, even more so, on an inner level, it's thoughts, then words, and then actions. But externally, our actions have the effect to change our thoughts, and this idea is expressed throughout the book of Sefer Chinuch, right? So, Acher Amaisen Nishach Malavavis, the Sefer Chinuch writes that a person's thoughts, his heart follows his actions. You don't feel love to your, I don't want to say, but let's say your parent, your child, your sibling, and you're not feeling it. And so sometimes you'll think, okay, let me like create that feeling. And the chinuch says, no, don't create the feeling, do something for them.
Hmm.
Actually do an act of love. If you do an act of love, you become vested in them and love will follow. So if you're not feeling love for a spouse or for a friend or for a parent, for a child, don't try to just meditate yourself into a state where you're going to feel the love, but actually take an action. Do a physical act of love, and that will bring you to a place of feeling it.